Alright guys, went back today with a dream shotgun of mine, the Benelli M2. I've been wanting something like this well over 10 years, ever since I started getting into guns, but could never afford one. And then when I could finally afford one with the YouTube channel, I decided, well, there is money well spent other places that could benefit the channel more. I finally found a good deal on one, pulled the trigger, and picked up the Benelli M2. This was cool. I picked it up used. It already had the top rail as well as some tube extensions, and then the tube mount itself with the QD slots on the one side and the pick rail on the other side. So all in all, it's the perfect Benelli M2 for me to pick up specifically for the channel. This is an interesting system because the Benelli M2 utilizes an inertia-driven system, and it works well with all different types of loads. We'll talk about the reliability of this shotgun throughout this video. Now, just because I love this shotgun and wanted it for so long doesn't mean I'm going to give it a glowing review today. At the exact same day, I transferred a Beretta 1301 Tactical from Beltway Gun & Pawn. So I actually bought the Beretta 1301 from Beltway, and I picked this one up online. I did the 1301 video first. You'll want to take a look at that, and that has become my favorite shotgun, favorite semi-auto combat shotgun, and there's a few reasons for that. One, you'll have to take a look at all of the enhanced ergonomics and features of that shotgun, but you'll really have to watch the video. And two, I can outrun a Benelli M2. We'll talk more about that in the reliability section of this shotgun, but outrunning it means you pull the trigger so fast that the action is not done cycling, and then you end up getting a dead trigger. I'll show you guys some videos of that in a second. So why would you want a Benelli M2? Well, first, it's the name, Benelli. They don't make junk. It's a quality shotgun that's going to last you a lifetime, and I've never seen anybody say anything differently. Since it's an inertia-driven system, it doesn't have a lot of the weight of a gas-driven system, so they're lightweight, balanced, and ergonomic. I love the new stocks they're putting on here. They have very nice texturing. They conform to your shoulder very well with the rubberized butt pad, and they flow very nicely. When you get to the receiver itself, it's got a nice semi-extended charging handle on that bolt right there. And then it's got that bolt release, which is fairly tiny. So that's kind of one of my first complaints about the Benelli M2. It's got a very tiny bolt release. The mag feed tube is reasonably large. It works out fairly well. It's got some nice beveling. But again, when we're talking about comparing it to the 1301, and this is not a direct comparison video, the 1301 is a lot easier to load. Moving up to the forend, the forend is very ergonomic. I love the texturing on it. It's very lightweight and balanced, and it works out nicely. And when you start adding the tube extensions, then you start getting the capacity you need to be a great personal defense shotgun. It also has those ghost ring sights and the ability to add a rail system to the top, so it works out good. Now I want to talk about the reliability of a shotgun like this, because that's what you're buying a Benelli for. That long-term, rigid reliability and durability over an extended period of time. Now, I haven't done 1,000 rounds for this. I'm only at about 250 rounds, but I've really developed my opinions about the functionality of this shotgun with a wide variety of loads. I started off with basic birdshot right out of the box to see if it would function, and it ran every single light birdshot load perfectly. So thank goodness it's going to be a great field shotgun, a great trap shotgun for skeet shooting, trap shooting, and bird hunting. It's going to run the lightest loads, and then you can take it out to the range and practice. So that's going to be key. It doesn't have any cycling issues there. But it also runs some of the hottest loads that you can put through it, so it's going to do really well when it goes all the way up to 3-inch Magnum shells. I ran a lot of buckshot and slugs through this with no issues. In fact, I pulled it back to about 75 yards with a slug and ghost ring sights, and I was popping a 6-inch popper, no problem. So it's plenty accurate, and then you can change out the chokes for whatever hunting application you have. So in a nutshell, the shotgun was 100% reliable with every single load until I outran the shotgun. And I outran the shotgun very easily and very consistently. Because it's an inertia-driven system, it runs a little bit slower. In fact, the Berettas, the 1301s, run faster than this, and since the Benelli M4 is a gas-driven system, they cycle faster than this. So when I searched the forums, I found a lot of 3-gun competitors were outrunning their Benelli M2s on a stationary target, meaning you have to hit 3 shots on a target, you pull the trigger as fast as you can. A lot of competitive and experienced shooters can outrun a Benelli M2, and I found that to be the case. For the intros of the videos, I love dumping like 3 rounds on target, then transitioning to the next target to simulate a personal defense situation where you may need to put 3 or 4 rounds in rapid succession, and I found myself outrunning the Benelli if I wanted to. If I wanted to pull the trigger really fast, I would get a dead trigger, I'd pull it back, take out the shell, no light primer strike. In fact, I even called Benelli about this, and they said yes. It is definitely possible to outrun the M2, but they haven't had the complaint on the M4 since the M4 cycles faster, and it's a gas system, not an inertia-driven system. Because of that, the Benelli M2 has been relegated to a field and competitive shooting gun for me and is no longer a viable personal defense option because in a stressful situation, I'm not worrying about my split times in between shots and worrying if I'm pulling the trigger too fast and I'm going to outrun this gun. I doubt that's going to be a problem for everybody. I do shoot a lot for YouTube, 3 times a week, so I get a lot of trigger time and I feel like I can shoot a shotgun fairly fast. If you're using this for competition, though, and you're transitioning from popper to popper or shooting clays, that microsecond between the transition from clay to clay or popper to popper is like an infinity amount of time for the action to cycle. The only time I run into outrunning a Benelli M2 is when I'm dumping rounds on the same target, trying to pull the trigger as fast as I physically can, so you probably won't outrun it in any practical application. But maybe in a personal defense situation, if you were super stressed, you could outrun the M2. So that is why I wanted to make this video. I've wanted this gun forever, and I want to love it so much and call it one of the best shotguns possible in this price range. But after shooting that Beretta, I've really fallen in love with that. I also have got a lot of questions about my Mossberg 930. I'll be doing some more videos on that in the future, but I did want to talk about this Benelli. I recommend it, I like it, but know what you're getting. It's probably one of the lightest weight, well-balancing, reliable shotguns I've fired, but the fact that you can outrun it really does limit its capabilities in my opinion. I can't wait to get my hands on an M4. I really want to do a battle of the top tier shotguns, and grabbing an M4 has been on my list for a while, so that's the next one I need to grab. I've also reviewed some of the new Turkish shotguns that have been coming out, and some of the Mossberg semi-autos, so check out those videos. But if you guys like to see more reviews of semi-auto shotguns, please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and let me know if you can outrun an M2. Let me know your experiences with an M2, and maybe it's just a weird niche that I do that I really discover when I'm shooting these intros for the videos. It's probably practically not a big deal at all. Again, I still absolutely recommend the Benelli M2. I've fallen in love with this one, and it's going to stay in the collection forever, and will probably use for different 3-gun matches, as well as just a bunch of different tasks, anywhere from hunting applications to trap shooting applications. This is a great option for a wide variety of scenarios, but I did want to make this video and let you guys know my thoughts on it. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.